Hello, I'm turning the camera on today to say that I am not over Broski, and I don't think I'll be over him for a decent while yet. And it's just kind of hit me this second. Well, not this second, like a minute, two ago. I was just sitting minding my business, and then I thought about him, and I realized that I just can't let go of the idea of him, right? Because I was never interested in romance up until I was like 17 years old. Like, I'm talking no crushes, no nothing. And I'm still like that. It's still really hard for me to have a crush on someone. Not only because I need to find them physically attractive, but I also need to be attracted to their personality, and their personality has to fit mine really fucking well. And it's hard enough finding friends whose personalities complement mine. So it's gonna be infinitely harder finding someone whose like entire being can satisfy mine in a romantic way. And I had that with Broski, and it was really good for the short period of time, like the fucking 5 days that we texted. And I don't think I can forget about it. At least not until I have someone else who can do the exact thing he was doing to me. Because, okay, like, let's say the idea of soulmates exists. He was my soulmate, right? But then, is it also a possibility that I have multiple soulmates? Most likely. It's a possibility that everyone has multiple soulmates. It just, like, because personalities at some point will start to overlap, especially with 8 billion people in the world. Like, personalities are going to overlap, so there is going to be someone that has that sort of personality, and it's just about finding them right. But because what got me thinking about it was, um, I matched with a guy on Bumble, then we follow each other on Instagram, and I don't think he can give me what I want from him. I don't think he can be, like, he can complement my personality in the way someone in a relationship should. Because even though I got into romance late, I've always like known what I wanted. I've always known that I need someone who's like me in a relationship and who understands my issues and who can help me work through them. And I had that with Broski, even though he didn't know any of my issues, because I'm not going to text him my fucking issues and I was just going to tell him when we met up, which obviously didn't fucking happen. The point remains that he was exactly that. He was exactly the person that I've always known that I need. And it's obviously been hard dealing with the reality of having someone and then not having anyone. Like, it's been a month basically at this point since we matched each other on Hinge. I also don't know why the light keeps fucking doing that. Like, what is it off? I'm not even moving. Whatever. Um, but it's no. This isn't to say that I'm like matching with people with the intention of being like, oh, I'm gonna get married to Broski. If you're not everything that he is, like, you're just not it for me. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing and saying right now is this: I'm coming to the revelation that I was right all along. I told you so to all of my friends. That I know what I want, and I've always known what I've wanted. And the image of the quote unquote perfect person is something that I've been building up in my head for years now. And someone doesn't have to be perfect, but they have to be relatively close. Like I'd say if someone is, I don't know, 75% of the way there, we could probably figure it out. Maybe not 70, maybe like 80%, I don't know. Regardless, it's not something that I can be like, okay, if you're caring, if you're compassionate, if you're protective, then we're good. No, it's it feels a lot more specific than that, and specific aspects of a relationship are becoming more and more important to me the more that I think about it. Because I don't think, for example, I could be in a relationship with someone who's like very emotionally fragile isn't the right way to say it, but like isn't like emotionally headstrong, like isn't right. I couldn't be in a relationship with a doormat. Like the best way to put it. And like if I did meet a quote unquote doormat, like yeah, I could help you work through it, but also like at your core, that's not who you are. I can't be with a doormat. Um, I also can't be with someone who tends to be like on the gentler side of things. Like, yes, I do love like a gentle aspect to a relationship. Most obviously, everyone does. Everyone wants to feel loved and, I don't know, like just embraced and accepted wholeheartedly. But I can't have just that. I need like some form of excitement in this romance where it feels overwhelming to a beautiful point, right? Where like this person consumes my entire being and I consume their entire being. I want to get like as close to that point as I can without it being like unhealthy or insanity, right? It's things like that where I also can't have someone where I'm making the decisions a lot of the time because I don't want to do that. Like, God, but like the point in me being in a relationship is for me to feel comfortable and my safest and my most open with this person. And my brain overthinks a lot anyway, as it is. So I love doing things where I can just turn my brain off and I can just I just don't have to think because I'm such an overthinker. So if I'm allowed to exist in an environment where I don't have to do that, where I feel comfortable enough, like letting this person take the lead, I will take that any day of my life. And sure, I don't mind leading in certain occasions, like especially if it's towards like the beginning of a relationship. Like some people might feel a bit not like ached out or grossed out, but like uncomfortable to be like, hey, you're cool, let's meet up, right? I don't mind doing that. But if we're getting into the later stages of the relationship, I cannot be mothering you. I do not have it in me to mother my partner because my partner's meant to be taking care of me. And if we ever have children, that again cannot be all on me. That will literally need to be a split like responsibility. It's things like that where it's so important for someone to be able to protect me and to just take care of me in that way, where I'm allowed to just feel at peace and like I belong somewhere without needing to have all this responsibility on my shoulders, because I shouldn't have to feel heavy in a relationship. I should I should be allowed to feel light, and I'm not saying that relationships can't have arguments or things like that. I'm just saying that I want to be able to flourish in a relationship, and I can't have that if it feels like my energy is being sucked away from me every second of every day. God, I need to pause and blow my nose. Fuck. Yep. And that's why I'm not over Broski. Because even if it was only over text, he put me mentally in a headspace where I didn't have to feel pressure from anyone, where he felt like the most important thing to me, and all that mattered was being happy. Like, I didn't have to pretend, I didn't have to act like someone I wasn't. I could say whatever I wanted, I could do whatever I wanted, and then at the end of the day he'd always still be there for me. And I'd go to bed and he's the last thing on my mind, and I wake up and he's the first thing on my mind. I had dreams about him every single day. And I never even met the bitch. It's insane. But that is what I want. He was so perfect, so able to fulfill my every need, that I've always needed help, like filling or recognizing or whatever the fuck. He was so good at that. And it's the first time that I've ever had a crush on someone. And I can confidently say that I had a crush on him. Because I've never had a crush. I don't know what it's like to have a crush in a normal way. Like, my crushes have always just tended to be like mini obsessions, basically. But then they die out, but this one didn't die out, and it wouldn't have died out. And I would have kept loving him until the day we died, under any fucking circumstances, basically. But he didn't want me. Blowing the nose again. And with the guys I'm talking to now, as I said before, I'm not trying to search for Broski. I'm trying to search for the qualities that he had, because he's confirmed my speculations that I've had for years, that this is the kind of person that I want, the kind of person that I need in order to complement my life and to make me happy. But it doesn't seem like it's particularly easy to find those qualities, which is fine, because some people can have part of the qualities but then not all of the qualities, right? And it does. I don't want to be looking for him in everyone I ever meet. I I'll keep thinking about it for a long time, I bet, because when I first turned 18, I got drunk with a guy friend at the time, and we ended up like being like flirty with each other, and then we never really saw each other again after that. But um like the things that we did that night. We didn't do anything explicit, but it was enough for me to be like, fuck, I want to experience this again with someone. And I thought about it a decent amount for like probably the next year or so. And I assume it's gonna be similar with Broski, where even though I know I'm not getting a text back, like a new theory of mine is that he like his like face and everything was real, but his account was like a burner account kind of. So like he lied about his name, like potentially the place he lived, um, and then gave me like a quote unquote throwaway burner account because it had like 3 followers and 5 following on it. Um, so that's my newest theory, and that does seem pretty probable given everything. But I just I feel bad for almost giving up on the guys I'm talking to in a way. Like I'm not giving up on them under no circumstances. I'm not gonna sit here and just be like, you're not exactly everything I think you are. So no, I'm still gonna give it a go because I could be proven wrong. And for the aspects that I'm not proven wrong on, then I don't know, either I work past them with this person or I don't because it's apparently a deal breaker to me. Because there are certain things which are like definitely deal breakers to me. And I thought I could move past it, but I don't really want to move past it. Like there's a part of me that's like, okay, let's like take the confidence angle, right? Like I don't have to be with a partner that's confident, but would it make me feel a lot more comfortable in a relationship? Probably, even if it's like false confidence. If you can have that like arrogance without being arrogant, amazing, stellar. If you have that like protectiveness, please bring it on. Like just so many like little things that all add up. And I want to be a lot more in detail about what I'm thinking, but I also don't want to share that too publicly on the internet. Um, but I mean, some people can probably read between the lines and figure out what I've been trying to say without saying it. But yeah, I I just I like basically fell in love with the idea of him. He is my type in every conceivable way, basically. And at the end of the day, he's ticking boxes. And I just need to find someone else who can tick as many boxes as he did, perhaps even more, because as I said, we never met in person. So I'm quite literally in love with the idea of him. But if I meet someone, then I don't have to fall in love with the idea of them. I can fall in love with them as a person, and then I can finally be happy. Okay, really didn't expect to cry, but bye bye.